on the dial, it's the top of the hour. Charles PR, the mic bring the power. From Chicago to Green Bay, Philly to LA, they're the kings of the airwaves, paving the way. The guys cracking jokes, got you laughing out loud, hyping you up, never stuck in the crowd. With sick hot takes, they ignite the debate, lighting up the night, never showing up late. Never giving a fuck, they're raw and real, breaking down the plays that tell you how they feel. From the end zone to the final buzzer beat, Charles PR and Mike, they can't beat beats. In the studio, they're the masters of the game, names up the lights, they rise into fame. With every broadcast, they turn up the heat, on your radio dial, they're the dream team. Boys with the heat, they burn through the night, sports scores and more, breaking down the games. From city to city, they rule the airwaves, bringing the fire, the heat never fades. Boys with the heat, they burn through the night, sports scores and more, they're always right. From city to city, they rule the airwaves, bringing the fire, they're the legends and the brave. So turn it up, let it blast through the street. Charles P on the mic, and that guy bring the heat. Never giving a fuck, they're always on top. With every new show, let's fucking rock.
Different. I just realized that it said in there, they're never late. And it's just you and I. And that was to introduce Mike back to the show, but it's all right. We'll get it again next week. I started to think about what the lyrics were, and I was like,
They're never late.
They're never late. Hey. All right.
Yeah, they got nice stuff going on. Happy 4th of July, man. How was your 4th of July?
This is good. Good for me. Good for us. I see a lot of places in Wisconsin are flooded, though. A lot of places got piss pounded last night.
Yeah, it was Manitowoc, I believe. They had a dam go out, so our thoughts and prayers are out to all them. The rodeo this year, I believe, is canceled. They did get those animals to safety.
Yeah, they evacuated a lot of people.
Yeah. There are a couple shelters set up now for them. Some elderly folks were able to get out. So far, it looks like only structural and property damages have been reported, so that's fantastic to hear. The weather's been weird, man. Weather's been damn weird. I haven't been able to get out. You know, we're just talking about floods. I haven't been able to get out to the golf course all summer.
I know, it's weird here. It's either a storm or it's just pissing down rain all the time.
Yeah. Not getting we're not getting a string of great days either.
No, they get two or three.
Yeah. And one or two of those days are 90 plus degrees with almost 70 or higher humidity. You're like, geez and rice. Like, I get it. You're pissed. I don't know what you're pissed about. Here's the thing, planet Earth, like, here in America, yeah, we got some assholes who were doing our part. You want to be pissed at people? Look over on your other side there. Come on now. Some shit's got to be getting done over there, but we're just two guys on a podcast here. Something I do want to mention. Okay, so USA got knocked out of the Copa America tournament.
Yeah.
First host country to be knocked out before the group stage ever. News is Greg Balter, his tenure obviously in question. All of the fans want him gone.
Yeah. I don't understand to just kick somebody out just because a lot of that's got to fall on the shoulders of the players when it comes to stuff like that too. I mean, but
it definitely does. In this situation, this guy was already fired once. And then old boy came. He's got a decent record outside of the tournaments. So then some fucking Klishop or Kingsbury or some fucker came in and just did terrible. And from my understanding, there really wasn't a better person. It was bad. It was bad.
I didn't get that. I heard they lost and that they were booted. They were booed. I heard they were booed too.
you can definitely tell that the rookie ref that FIFA put down. So now there had already been speculation that this dude was a fucking creep. And it turns out in 2019, he had coached a game, or he had reffed a game. I can't remember the host country or the home team. And there was a hell of a lot of favorable calls for that. Some would even argue that it led to the reason for the victory of the match. Later,
he was on the take, or
so much speculation that in some of these countries, all you got to do is say it, and they're gonna send the police. They're gonna send the police.
Yeah.
So they sent the police, and they found a bunch of jerseys and signed memorabilia and shit. This guy's the ref's locker room. Yeah, the dude was terribly inexperienced. The USA came out, and they were strong. Uruguay was a very tough fucking team, and it was all USA. And all of a sudden, like, momentum was just taken away. Random yellow cards, not giving Uruguay yellow cards. It was really bad. Man, the entire time I'm watching it, I'm reminded on how corrupt FIFA is. And, like, my final thought with this soccer organization, and I hate to say this because there is speculation that Jurgen Klopp will be coming to the United States to coach the men's national team. I think that is pure speculation. I mean, we would give him the state of Connecticut. I would. And it would change us overnight.
That was not a very favorable matchup either way, either or Panama. That was a pretty.
We should have beat. We should have beat Panama. No, we should have beaten Panama. That's just stupidity again. Multiple missed calls on the ref led to a situation where old boy just got pissed and punched the dude in the back of the head, which is something you can't do. You can't do that in soccer, apparently. But we should have scored more points again on Bolivia. We should have scored 4 or 5 goals on Bolivia, and instead we scored 2. Yeah. We lost to Panama, who ended up hurting themselves and bringing themselves down to 10 men as well. The goddamn mustache. Let me tell you what, dude. Sometimes it's just my final thought with soccer is that FIFA is corrupt as shit. And like time after time, you look at a situation and you're like, and you hear the commentators or you hear some of the specialists afterwards, who's like, every single damn time, dude, they're like, we understand that the situation is this, but you can't allow that to affect your mind, and you just got to go out there and you got to play harder and you got to be better and you got to do more. And it's, what the are you talking about?
It sounds like somebody making a lot of excuses more than anything.
So it's like, there's no damn way that old boy has his ankle stepped on and then he gets a yellow card, right? Like, how do you play better through that? How do you play harder? How do you do better? You don't. It's just, you're fucked and there's nothing you can do about it. But you can't say that. You can't say that because you're going to push people away from it. But it's an absolute joke. And anybody who compares soccer to the NFL is effing crazy anymore to me. I think
it's not remotely even close anymore.
I don't think it's even close.
Yeah.
I think because all you can watch is soccer, I get it. I do. But when you have the NHL and the NFL and hell, even the MLB for some people, but we'll just stick, when you UFC, right? Like when you have that on just the flip of a fucking remote.
We're spoiled.
College football, bro. College football, dude. Which is coming up here pretty quickly.
I don't think any other country outside the United States even has anything remotely close to even compare it to.
But it's like, and I love the fandom of soccer.
Yeah,
I love the fandom, right? But it doesn't match to that of even college football or NFL or even or any of our playoffs.
Yeah, a Saturday night college football game versus a UEFA soccer match between even Brazil and like Germany or
if Mike and Paul were in here too, bro, I'd even see that
Yeah.
Put college aside, put the pros aside. I'd bring up
and get everybody.
high school football in Texas.
You're talking about like a Friday Night Lights.
Friday Night Lights, high school football in Texas, Alabama, Georgia. I want to know which one of them southern states is the best high school football atmosphere. But their high school football atmosphere, in my opinion, is the same comparison as what I'm watching from the soccer fandom. You have that love and appreciation like you're a parent.
Alabama sells their number one. What was it? Number one.
Number one merchandise is college
merchandising
football
thing was college football gear, and it was Alabama.
It's roll tide college football gear.
Yeah.
It's crazy, but it's like, and the big name matchups too. It's so just recently it was Ronaldo with Kylian Mbappe there, and I get it, but it's nothing like watching Larry versus Magic, or Aaron Rodgers ripping apart a defense, or Patrick Mahomes ripping apart, or Lamar Jackson ripping off. It's nothing compared to the 1v1 matchups in a pitching duel or a pitcher versus, you know what I'm saying? Like it was like Mariano Rivera versus Miguel Cabrera.
Right.
In one of the American League Championship series is. Right, and it's just like Miguel Cabrera goes up. There's nothing like or watching Mariano Rivera just strike the side out in a crazy. I haven't been able to see that comparison.
No, the only comparison ever in the history of that sport probably was Pele and Maradona, if I had to guess, when they went against each other. It was probably close. I'm not going to say it rivals it per se,
right?
But that's their comparison to what we could equivalent it to.
And I can understand it. You could bring it to the table, but at the same front, it's like when Magic and Larry or somebody was going at it.
Yeah.
Like even today, you would say LeBron James and Kawhi Leonard were going at it, or Giannis
LeBron
and Jokic,
and
or Tatum and Anthony Edwards is probably your most freshest right now. You know what I'm saying? You don't get that, and you find it in baseball, hockey, even in the NFL. You got like Jair Alexander versus Justin Jefferson.
Yeah, we
right.
Game
Like
7 of the hockey match, McDavid versus Kachuk. I mean,
Kachuk, absolutely. Yeah. See, like you have these head-to-head. I'm looking you in the eyes, but like on the pitch, you're not getting that, right? Okay, Mbappe's going to do his thing on this side, and Ronaldo's going to do his thing on this side.
It's not like every game comes down to penalty kicks or something where you actually get to see the 1v1.
Portugal has a 70% possession of the game, but Ronaldo touched the ball 11 times, right? So you're telling me in 112 minutes the dude touched the ball 11 times. He touched the ball once every 10 minutes. How is that electric?
It's not. It's got to be a mentally emotional sport. Like you have to physically hype yourself up. That's probably why alcohol is so popular with them. They just get drunk and they cheer for everything.
Yeah. And so I was out cooking. I was grilling. Yeah. God damn it. What's up with my headphones right now? Are these on backwards?
I don't know. Can you hear? It's all that matters.
Yeah, it's all that matters.
They're not fucking with the burgies, so it's okay.
I know. So I was out grilling. And this was during the USA-Panama's match. I was out grilling. And the USA scored that first goal. And, like, I get it. But there's no difference from golf and soccer to me. I force myself to watch them both. I would rather play.
I would rather play golf.
And it's like with NASCAR too, like I hate NASCAR on the television.
Right.
I don't hate F1 on the television, which is weird. Well, I'll never watch F1 Monaco ever again in my life.
Here's the thing with F1 though. There potentially could be a crash in every turn. That's what makes it entertaining and interesting.
Right. But like NASCAR on the television, terrible. But NASCAR in person, electric, terrifying, mesmerizing. Like you need to go to a NASCAR in person.
Maybe soccer's the chance. I don't know.
I want to go see. Here's the thing.
I wish I would have went and saw when they were at Lambeau. I think that would have been awesome.
Yeah. Oh yeah. Absolutely. We'll catch that again. They'll do something else there again. Absolutely. So. But what I want to see is more of that. I'm sick of seeing these effing soccer teams in
There's plenty of cities that can
five
go
to
to a football
five to
stadium.
10,000 people in the stands. When you hear from everyone, right? If you made these tickets $20, you would sell out 100,000 seats.
You mentioned this before, yeah.
Why not make them $20 and sell out 100,000 seats? If that's what you want, if that's your goal.
Because guess what? You're going to sell a shit ton of jerseys because people are like, they want the merch. They get in the doors, they want the merch.
All day, if you can be in a stadium with 50, 60,000 seats, selling tickets from $20 to $200. That's a $20 to $200. Who fucking cares who gets the $200 tickets? Who cares? Oh, you got to have your big name faces. Give them the fucking boxes or something. Fuck the big name faces. Yeah. Right? Who cares? They're paying the same goddamn money as everyone else. In fact, you'll probably save money. You don't have to have security. You don't have to give away all this fucking shit because they're a celebrity. Fuck that. Let the everyday person buy it.
Right.
But fill those fucking stadiums, and you're gonna make more money on the $50,000 to $70,000 seat stadiums than you're going to on the fucking 10 to 15,000 seat stadiums. It doesn't make sense.
You brought this up that they don't have an issue selling out stadiums in Europe and that because they're doing this.
Right.
So obviously this marketing,
I think
they
football,
did a little bit of research, yeah.
I think football has a huge hill to climb on the global market, not because football isn't exciting, but I honestly think because FIFA is so goddamn corrupt that they know the NFL is going to take money away from them.
We've crunched these numbers before with FIFA. And I think we even proven it to ourselves and to anybody that listened to that episode that, yes, there's big time corruption. I think you said they were like number 5 in the world as far as like a sports organization goes, like financially. Yeah, but they haven't branched out in years.
No, they're terrible. They're absolutely terrible. They're corrupt as fuck. But when you
reach that point, you don't need to be regulated. Yeah.
Yeah, and in FIFA, in its own sense, they do so much good that a lot of the times this negative bullshit is the only thing people focus on.
Speaking of which,
outside of the World Cup, they really do better most places they're in.
Is that comment about Aaron Rodgers donating $100,000 and saying, "I never seen Tom Brady donate any money"? Is that true? Or was that like clickbait? Did you hear about this?
I did not hear about this.
Oh, he gave away $100,000 to something, and he made a joke or a little kick at Brady. I don't know if it was just to see if Brady would donate more money. I'm like, don't mess with a billionaire because he'll just give millions. It might have been a jab at him, so he did donate some money just to get one of those little bidding wars going back and forth. I don't know.
We'll have to look more into it. And we're bringing up Aaron Rodgers too. I think reality is going to come crashing down hard on Jets and the Jets fans.
I think age has finally caught up to him.
Not even finally, bro. His last couple of years in Green Bay were pretty terrible.
He was pretty average at best, yeah.
His last season with us, he only averaged 217 yards a game. And you're talking about you're now in a division with the Bills, and the Dolphins had the number 2 scoring offense. They're going to be electrifying.
I crunched some numbers, and I looked at what Jordan Love had, and compared to the rest of the league, Jordan Love didn't even have a number 1 wide receiver because Christian Watson was fucking hurt all season, and he put up like the 4th best numbers in the NFL. And I was like, had Aaron Rodgers been there, I thought to myself, I'm like, I don't think the Aaron Rodgers would have even thrown for 25 touchdowns. And he damn sure wouldn't have threw for 4,000 fucking yards.
Aaron Rodgers had the same staff last year. At times, a couple other players that shouldn't have been playing were taking up playing space. Lazard and Randall Cobb. But no, I agree. Because Aaron's last great season was his last MVP.
MVP season, yeah.
After that, it's been ayahuasca and get me to the off season.
You brought this up, we had a little issue. I think the whole thing we brought up over the Jordan Love situation here. I think Jordan Love can actually prove himself to a point worth the value of a upgrade in his salary if he potentially becomes a continuous playoff contender every season. If they at least compete for a playoff spot or make the playoffs in the next 3 to 4 seasons, everything will be justified. Any amount of money that they give them, as a Packer fan, I think that's all you're hoping for, because I looked at the success of every other team in our division and I said nobody even comes close in the last 30 years. Not even anything.
Nobody even comes close. The holdup on Jordan Love's contract right now is fucking Trevor Lawrence.
Any more dominoes? That's what I was wondering. No more dominoes, no more talk. Nothing has actually happened.
And there is a potential roadblock with Tua Tagovailoa. Because who's a better quarterback, Tua or Trevor?
I would say Tua's a better quarterback.
I agree.
For sure. I don't think it's
now,
really
now, me personally, I think Jordan Love's better than Tua and Trevor. But out of Jordan...
They just have more weapons. That's the only reason
Yeah,
that's different.
yeah. Now, out of Jordan and Trevor, who's the better quarterback?
Oh, Jordan.
Jordan, all day. Now, I believe the holdup with J Love's contract is Miami with Tua Tagovailoa, because if Miami and Tua are more around 50 because of whatever reasons,
Yeah, right.
then Green Bay can look at Jordan and go, listen, we're not the Jacksonville Jaguars up here. We love you. We'll throw in some incentives, but we truly feel you're more around 51 and a half.
Yeah.
More than 50. Because right now, you and I just agreed on this triangle. Jordan Love should be at 54, 55 because fucking stupid ass Jacksonville Jaguars gave Trevor fucking Lawrence 53.
Yeah,
so
this blows my mind.
So this is where we are. I never really had a problem with Jacksonville or Trevor Lawrence until right now, right? Like now I've got a really big problem with them, and most Packer fans should. And we need to hope. We need to hope, because if we don't pay him now, he's going to be way more expensive for us next year.
He could be a $60 million quarterback if they don't get the deal done this year. He could literally just sit there and go, I was top 5 again in the NFL. Pay me top 5 money. And he's going to go, and they're all going to go, fuck, we missed the horse.
And it could be a Dallas Cowboys situation, which I don't believe it
absolutely.
will be. But
I don't think so either.
If Dallas would have given Dak the contract he deserved earlier, they would be paying him 25 to 30 million right now, and in talks of an extension, instead of looking at the 50 some million they're looking at now, and potentially just not signing him at all and losing out because they can't afford what he is, and he's going to take less money somewhere else to go be a contender.
I wonder where Dak is going to end up, because he's definitely not staying in Dallas. That's pretty much obvious, unless he accepts less money, which he shouldn't, because he's going to get that money elsewhere. It might not be a bigger contract, but he'll still get 50 million. I mean,
I can see Dak
48, 50. Yeah,
I can see Dak going to Oakland or Seattle, because the other teams are in his division that I can think of, with Washington or New York.
Or he could go to a playoff contender that was on the edge this year. I guess we'll see what happens this year. Maybe a team like, hell, even fucking Pittsburgh. It's weird to say,
because if Russell doesn't work, and they didn't have confidence in Justin to either push him in early or use him at all.
Well, I mean, Fields has an opportunity to either it's make or break, and they won't pay him. They still, as far as I'm concerned, Philadelphia Eagles got their quarterback. All these teams have their quarterbacks of the future. It's Pittsburgh's one of those teams. It's a blue blood that you're like, man, if it doesn't work out for them, they're fucked.
And I can't stress to the listeners enough, Jordan Love is going to be a Green Bay Packer for a long time.
It's a financial decision that needs to be made.
And Trevor Lawrence is the chink in the chain. Now, I believe tampering some form of NFL legality probably stopped a lot of these conversations from happening until May 3rd.
Yeah.
And then after May 3rd, they were fast forward, but the camp had caught wind of a contract coming into fruition. And when it did, it changed the course of our, as fans, reality. That's the business of it. Now, what we need to do is everyone needs to say 10 Hail Lombardis that Miami and Tua get a reasonable deal done here ASAP. Otherwise, Green Bay just needs to shit or get off the pot and get this fucking contract.
Here's the question I have. I know every team has to pay their quarterback, the guy that they think's their franchise quarterback.
Right.
But do you believe, if you're a Miami Dolphins fan, just putting this in perspective, do you believe that he's going to be the one that gets you there? And he's been in the league for 4 or 5 years. Do you believe he's going to be the guy that gets you there, or you think that maybe you can get him there, but don't have to pay him because you're going to need more pieces, so you don't want to overpay for him, but you think he could get you there? I don't know what you think, because there's teams out there like Brock Purdy's going to have to get paid. All these quarterbacks got to get signed. Financially, you got to think about it. Is this the guy that's going to get you there with or without adding more pieces? You're going to need money, the capital. The Packers are in a very good situation with Love because they've got all these young rookies. All these guys that are on rookie deals. This is the time to pay them.
Yes. Okay, so I'm trying to...
No, I just didn't know how much money they actually could afford to give them Miami. Are we hoping that they don't want to stretch this out? I think you already said it. You're hoping they give them between the 48 and 51 million or 50 million, and then bump Love up to 51, 52 right. Maybe even, and say, okay, dude, this is excellent. So
the first part of your question that led me off on a rabbit hole, right? If I'm a Miami Dolphins fan, and I'm looking at Tua Tagovailoa.
Right.
So if I'm a Miami Dolphin fan,
right, I want him there, but I don't.
I'm old enough to remember Dan Marino. Okay, so here's the list of Miami quarterbacks since Dan Marino.
All right, I know Henny's there.
From 2000 to 2004, Jay Fielder. Then 2005, Gus Ferrate. 2006, Dante Culpepper. 2007, Trent Green. From 2008 to 2009-ish, Chad Pennington. And then from 2009 to 2011, Chad Henne.
Chad Henne, yeah.
From 2012 to 2016-ish, you had Ryan Tannehill. And then at the end of Ryan Tannehill, 2016, you had Matt Moore. 2017, you had Jay Cutler, followed by Matt Moore. 2018, you went back to Ryan Tannehill, and you had a little bit of Brock Osweiler. 2019, you had Ryan Fitzpatrick again, and then a little bit of Josh Rosen.
I've ever seen.
In 2020, you had Ryan Fitzpatrick, and then Tua Tagovailoa. 2021, you had Tua, then Jacoby. In 2022, you had Tua, Teddy, and Skyler. And then in 2023, for 17 fucking games, you had Tua Tagovailoa. So if I'm a Miami Dolphins fan, bro, you know what I'm saying? Pay this motherfucker so I can buy one jersey for the next 10 years. Just pay this motherfucker so I can buy one jersey for the next 10 years. Because since Dan Marino, we've had fucking a circus
we
of
don't
want
to be the Miami Lions or the Miami Bears.
Yeah, you say the beginning of that question, my mind went, wait a minute. Fucking, I think Miami's had 40 quarterbacks, dude. Since
if he's looking at himself in the mirror, he should just be like, if I get anything over 45 million, I should be happy with this.
I don't know.
He's got the whole concussion thing though.
But I played all of last season without it, and there wasn't even speculation of it. And because of that list I just told you, the production I'm able to provide, the ability to stay healthy, I want to be around 50. I think Tua deserves it. I think Tua deserves it.
Oh, he deserves it more than Lawrence. We're both on board with that one. Mm-hmm. But unfortunately, I hope they don't pay him more than 51, 52.
Yeah, because I truly do feel that Tua is a piece that came onto the board after. I mean, because there was one other quarterback who got money too, but the main one was Trevor Lawrence. So Trevor Lawrence brought Tua Tagovailoa into the business side of things for the Green Bay Packers. Now, this is purely speculation. This is just from looking at the situation, from understanding where we were and where we are now, and how did we get here? So I was making educated guesses on how we got here, and this was my favorite one of a list of not too many, right? I can't think of many reasons on how we got here, and this was my favorite one, is that with Lawrence, who, if we went through fucking Jackson Jaguars quarterback list, I promise you they're in the same boat, and that's why they paid old boy $53 million.
Yeah.
It's the same thing as the New York Giants. But the New York Giants are doing something that we should expect to see from the Jacksonville Jaguars.
He's the one, Danny Dimes is the one that started all this shit. He's the downfall, the domino that fell, that created this giant freaking overpaying of quarterbacks.
Well, I think it was like that favorite mixed ice cream where you got chocolate and vanilla. I think it was a mixture of old Danny Dimes and Mr. Massage himself there, Deshaun Watson. Those two have thrown ripples into the quarterback market, mostly because of their like, you had organizations that went, I'm going to pay you before you deserve it, because you're on a projected path stating you'll earn it. But in the NFL, anything can happen. And look what happened last year with Danny Dimes. He was hurt, and it was
Russell
like, I got to try and play.
Russell Wilson's still the 7th highest paid quarterback in the NFL this year because of Denver.
Yeah.
That's crazy.
Well, that's Walmart money.
Yeah, I know. I'm just saying it. That fucks the market, too. You got a guy.
Oh, yeah.
Hopefully that doesn't work.
So if I'm a quarterback like Tua Tagovailoa, or if I'm a quarterback like Jordan Love, and my ability thus far has been proven beyond that of others now making money, I'm going to expect to be paid more than them. Let's just be honest. Like, I'm not going to take less money than that dude. That dude can barely fucking read.
And the Packers they got a war room right now, especially with new leadership and all this stuff. They know what they're going to have to pay. It's just a matter of, we need these dominoes to fall so that we can get this going, because he's not going to sign without the dominoes falling per se.
The other thing, too, we have to ask ourselves.
Yeah.
We're in a 3-year window before money is going to cause us to lose some of these up-and-coming players.
Wide receivers, tight ends, yeah.
Are we in a 3-year Super Bowl window?
3 to 4. They can always,
If it's the fourth year, it's a no. We're talking 2 to 3. Because rookie contracts and everything will be up in the next 2 to 3 years.
Yeah, I would say you got a 3-year window to be able to succeed now. You win now. You're in win now mode, okay?
I'd put a future. I'd put a futures bet. I'd put $100 for that Green Bay wins the Super Bowl. Maybe not this year, but next year or the year after. I can definitely see it. Absolutely.
They're trying to put a teamer on him. That's why they're trying to get this deal done. I mean,
so if that's the case, then pay the man. I don't see why.
Still kills me that the Chicago Bears are sold for $100.
I think they paid too much.
$100 in a bag of beef.
How many days until college football? Let's see.
I believe we're at like 68 or 67.
Saturday, August 24th. In Dublin, Ireland? Florida State versus Georgia Tech? That's going to be funny. How many days until?
I was like, do you know what comes up, though, if you search it? 13 days, 4 hours comes up because it brings up NCAA 25, the football game. And I was like, oh, yeah, that's definitely not the right one.
70 days away from today, August 29th, 2024.
I said 68. I was close, I guess.
So we're 70 days away from the college football kickoff.
10 weeks.
Do we know what these sanctions on Michigan are? Do we?
I think that they brought it out, and it's like bans on recruiting, and it's like slap on the wrist shit.
That's so with probation and recruiting penalties. What's the probation? Are we talking? We're not talking. So no bowl ban, no playoff ban. No,
I don't think there's a bowl ban, but I think there's something with traveling. Yeah, I don't think they're allowed to send a bunch of players, extra players, or something.
According to the release, the coach did not participate. Resolution, Michigan Athletic Director, fucking sissy ass board manual, block those notifications.
Fucking Mr. Potato.
Yeah, all right. This question's got to be answered because Ohio State fans have been asking this shit out.
Oh yeah, they've been looking
Michigan
for
football banned from the playoffs?
If they were, would
Michigan
not have
football
gotten a
is not
fucking
banned from the
recruit.
playoffs. However, the team has faced NCAA sanctions. Okay, we are a top 10 team coming into this year, I believe. I think it was top 8.
I think it was 8 or 9. Yeah.
Yep.
Well,
So
it was 8. Yeah, 8 or 9.
That's beautifully comfortable. I would rather that position all day, other than the latter. I don't like coming into the season as number 1, especially as a Michigan fan. The last time we were like number 1 or number 2.
Well, I laugh because these Ohio State fans are so fucking full of themselves. Dude, you guys have been number 1 or number 2 every year for the last, 8 years.
What are they coming in at this year?
I think 2, right behind Georgia or something. Yeah. Realistically, Georgia's probably the best team on paper.
Yes. No. Paper, Georgia. On paper and on the field, Georgia.
It probably is. It probably is Georgia and Ohio State on paper, 1 and 2. That's You could depending on.
Ohio State's got to be number 2 on paper, bro. They spent $23 million or something.
But they don't have a fucking quarterback. They got a quarterback from Missouri that he threw 24 touchdowns and 13 picks. It's not like they brought in some dude like Caleb Williams that threw 45 touchdowns. They got rid of McCord, who had better stats. He had a better completion percentage.
I think McCord
way
was
less
leaving.
Picks.
Yeah. I think McCord left. I don't.
Yeah, he left. He went to Syracuse, but they basically forced him out the door because of the fans. He said the fans were terrible. Ohio State fans, he said, are the worst.
But here's the kicker.
Passionate. Yeah.
Ryan Day has coached. C.J. Stroud. Who's that
Justin
other kid?
Fields.
Who's that other kid? Justin Fields.
Justin Fields. Yeah.
Yeah. Hasn't been able to beat Michigan with those great quarterbacks.
With those 2 quarterbacks, yeah.
Now we're talking C.J. Stroud is his best quarterback ever, right?
Yeah.
So if Ryan Day couldn't get it done with them, what makes anybody think Ryan Day can get it done with less?
I don't know.
This is basically them saying Sam Bradford is going to be the MVP of the NFC North.
Basically,
because he has Justin Jefferson and T.J. Hawkinson and Aaron Jones.
Yeah.
Not because Sam Bradford's an MVP, but because he has those pieces around him, which is something I'm saying give him a chance, Minnesota fans. I'm saying give him a chance because of those pieces, but I'm not sitting here telling anybody that Minnesota is Super Bowl favorites like these delusional ass sons of bitches.
No, but that's what Ohio State fans believe.
Ohio State is the Dallas Cowboys of college football.
Yeah.
They
won a couple. They've won here or there.
Yeah,
but it's been a minute. Yeah.
Yeah. It's easy. It's easy to say that because every year they're in it in their minds, but the product on the field is terrible.
Urban Meyer has literally tainted that program for fucking forever. And people are like, "What do you mean he cheated?" I go, "I don't care if he ever gets in trouble for it, but he's basically had players come out on. There's been more than one player come out on podcasts that said, he asked us for money. We asked for money, and he said, yeah, how much? There's players out there that said that, and that was pre-NIL. Dude, you cheated. I know other teams did it, but I'm saying
you went from cheating ass Tressel. You went from cheating ass Tressel, then you got your ass kicked by Michigan so bad that you begged cheating ass Urban Meyer to show up. And Urban Meyer cheats you guys' way into some shit, and before he gets in trouble, he leaves. Fucking Harbaugh just pulled an Urban. That's all it was, except a much different, detailed story. Or Harbaugh would have stayed had Michigan not dicked him around on the money.
Here's the thing with Urban Meyer that bothers me the most. His speculation was always more so for the players that he brought in and recruited. He didn't have morals. Urban Meyer didn't have morals whatsoever. He would bring in any player.
Hell no, he
had
the longest yard down in Florida. He literally had the longest yard down in Florida.
You guys want to talk about? Oh, he didn't know bullshit. He went to these kids' homes. He knew these people.
I've got questions, dude. I've got questions for Tim fucking Tebow.
Me too. What happened?
And honestly, I think
how could he not know?
I think Tim Tebow's punishment was his terrible NFL career. That's what lets me. That's what lets me know.
The other way.
Yeah, that's what lets me know that he was put there for a reason, and he overlooked that reason for his own self-hubris, and that thus caused his NFL career to be trashed.
Yeah, he didn't go out and all. He didn't know what the guys were up to. Yeah. Dude was out there freaking popping shots at cars and like stealing vehicles, and like they were doing drug deals. That Florida team was fucking terrible. They did all kinds of backed up shit.
The longest yard, bro.
Yeah, longest yard.
But FIFA's corrupt. Kind of American sports too. You do
college football's corrupt. College basketball was caught cheating. Officials were caught cheating back in the day. You had SMU. There's been a lot of messed up stuff.
Right now, America's got a gambling problem.
Yeah, America's paying for their NFL futures with gambling money. That's how the contracts are getting bigger, because they're getting a piece of the pie. Now, I don't want to be pointing fingers, but when money starts to dictate the salaries of the people that are involved, let's just say there might quite possibly be a little bit of an issue with that.
I agree. So I meant for this to be an opener, but we ended up scrolling off.
Fine.
So we'll have this be our closer. Did the James family orchestrate Bronny's talent? Now, here's what I mean by this. And this might bode well for your sports card.
Yeah.
If he averaged 12 points a game, 4 rebounds, and 4 assists.
In his rookie season is what you're speaking?
No, in college.
Oh, in college. Okay.
Where do you think he's drafted? First round?
End of the bottom of the first round. He probably
just anywhere in the first round.
Yeah, probably. The Lakers probably trade down to 25 or something to go get him.
Lakers aren't going to trade out of their top pick for the kid. Not for a.
Well, I mean, they're going to trade. They'll trade.
The details. The details of that aren't specific.
We knew he was going to LA. Yeah.
Because this year, we did. But now for this conversation.
So hypothetically, if he was a NBA quality draft,
just like a 12-4-4. Where's he going? And he's going to go in the first round. We've talked about.
I mean, there's been people with way less stats who went in the top 20. So yeah,
that's what I'm saying. But now you throw in the fact that his last name is James.
Yeah.
Okay, so he's showing a little bit of pedigree from what his father did. Now, is there any way he gets drafted to his dad's team without the Lakers showing the entire world that their main goal and objective is to get Bronny? No, but they don't get him.
The fucked up thing is about that, Charles, they showed their hand even before the NFL, before the NBA draft. We all knew. We talked about this on the show. We knew they were going to draft him. We just didn't know where. Was he going to go undrafted or second round? I think with those stats, you're talking a 20 to 25 range.
Absolutely, but
first round.
But the odds of him being drafted by the Lakers
were very
to play
slim
with his dad would be almost
probably zero,
non-existent.
Like
the Lakers,
they wouldn't.
You wouldn't be able to give up the farm for that type of NBA prospect just because it's LeBron James' son. Now, doing it in the second round, that's not an issue.
No,
doing it late,
right?
Doing it late in the second round, that's not an issue. So, my boy, you can't go out there and just score.
Am I upset that they drafted him? Absolutely not. I don't care.
No, I don't think that is. But I'm saying what I'm getting at is, what if LeBron James' son is actually really good at basketball? Like, really fucking good at basketball.
So you're saying the potential that this has all been like a rope-a-dope type deal?
Rope-a-dope, because there's no way if he was unleashed that he would have been drafted by the Lakers. They wouldn't have been able to get to him with their current draft pick situation. So keeping him in the bottom of the second round, you had that heart situation. We've got you at USC. This isn't a contending school. When is USC ever a contending school? You're just there because it's one and done. You have to go to college.
Yeah.
Otherwise, we would have sent you to the G League or some shit.
I think his potential really was the G League, though. I don't know if it might just be the cards laid themselves where they were, and this is just how they fell. But there's a real good possibility of what you're saying is true.
This dude, if he comes out and he's dropping 15 fives. If he's giving you 15 fives down in that G League,
he's physically he's physically
got the
gifted.
IQ.
He's physically gifted, and yes, he has the basketball IQ. He's physically gifted enough too, as well, to compete at the NBA level. I think this is just like is he going to be mentally capable to make that step? Because college was fucking hard for him, and I think Paul brought this up with the whole injury, the whole heart condition thing. That might really affect him. I don't think anybody really has ever come back and done anything with that. It's tough.
Personally, you would have to be one hell of a puppet master to pull all these strings.
Oh yeah, for sure. But we know
and
that
if you were
they're
that
entirely possible, they could do it.
If he was that talented of a puppet master, I don't think there would be a question who's better, LeBron or Michael. Right?
Yeah.
Because it's still a question, the answer is Michael. Because it's still a question. The kid's been in the, or get 50 years old at this point, whatever he is. The dude's been in the league for 20
40 fucking years.
475 years. And you're still asking more often than not, is he? That means he isn't. And we just need to appreciate what he is, the second best player in the league. And honestly, there's this whole bunch of the father-son duo in the league at the same time and all this other baloney. And yeah, whatever. The kid's only got to make one basket, and him and his dad are the highest scoring father-son duo of all time. He literally he can make a free throw.
Yeah, he only needs 1 point because his dad's already got the record.
By himself. I think it'll be interesting to see, though, dude. Through this week, I've talked myself into the step back and see maybe this whole thing was just orchestrated by fucking LeBron himself.
Hey, I'll be the first one to eat crow if he comes out and he averages a double, or he averages even 10 and 5.
Yeah.
If he averages 10 and 5, his contract is justified in my eyes. But
in the NBA, yeah.
But let's see. Let's see.
That's got to be 10-5 in the NBA, though.
Yeah, that's what I mean. I don't mean G League.
Okay.
So he didn't sign a G League deal, right? He didn't sign a two-way deal. He signed an NBA deal, right? Yeah.
Yeah, but all speculation has him down in the G League. I think they're going to start the season off with him and his dad being on the same court. No, he'll start in the NBA and then go down to the G League. I don't even think it doesn't matter what he does. If he balls out and hits fucking 30 burger the first night, they'll probably give him a second night. But
if that happens, the fucking internet's gonna explode. So don't worry. I hope it does, because then we can eat off of this. It's fine.
There's only two things I hope happened. I hope he either gets a 30 burger, or I hope his first two shots are air balls and he doesn't shoot again all night. I don't see either one. I don't see either one of those two things happening. But it's the only two things I want to happen. All right, let's go. Okay, we're gonna
drop some. That's all I can think of now is I want to play NBA Live and be like, drop a 30 burger with Bronny James and see what happens. Just replay it. Drop a 30 burger.
So Wyoming is the 10th most expensive state in the U.S., but it has the lowest population, making it the least populous state. Sometimes these facts fucking kill me, dude. It's got the lowest population, which makes it the least populated state. No fucking shit.
Yeah. I think Alaska's got some crazy stat like that too. Like financially, they're like the richest country without actually touching any of the resources. Like the resources they have in the ground with the gold and the oil. They're like the richest state.
Oh, yeah, dude. Alaska was probably the United States' greatest layaway purchase of all time.
Yeah, greatest layaway. That's an excellent way to say that.
Why
wrap them in a bow, leave them up there.
Wyoming is known by several nicknames, including the Cowboy State, the Quality State, and Park State. Despite having 23 counties, Wyoming only has one area code, 307, and falls entirely within the Mountain Time Zone. The state's license plate. This is not going well for you, Wyoming. There's got to be some more fucking facts. Oh my god!
Your facts are not facts.
The state
comments.
they're just fucking stated. They're just statements. Your facts are just statements. But anyways, the state's license plate features a man on a bucking bronco, reflecting its cowboy heritage. All right, most purchased item in Wyoming.
Land. The most purchased item, land. Cattle.
Freezer packs. According to data from Walmart.com, freezer packs are the most popular item purchased in Wyoming. These handy packs help keep food cold during outdoor adventures or while traveling in the state's scenic landscape.
Oh, you know what it's for? Yeah, probably for going picnics and stuff. And then they also probably have a lot of people coming in shooting get wild game, and then they have to have the ice packs. Yeah, that makes sense.
Yeah, so just like Florida with their swim trunks, you got Wyoming and freezer packs. It's starting to make sense as the states are going by. Your consumer list has got to be a little crazy. In terms of imports, Wyoming spends a significant amount on this category, totaling $4.1 million. While it might not be as exciting as freezer packs, it reflects the state's economic activities and trade relationships. Remember, Wyoming is known for its stunning natural beauty, so those freezer packs likely come in handy for picnics, camping trips, and outdoor gatherings.
That makes sense.
That makes sense. It's not terrible at all.
These small town city living folk out here in the out west, they got a lot of money to spend on the ice packs. We just head on up to the mountains and shove an old goat or a elk up in the caves, keep it cold.
Eventually we'll get somewhere cool with this state list.
Yeah, there's a couple of them I really don't understand they like. West Virginia, like a couple of these states, it's going to be very interesting.
Those are, I think we're getting the boring ones out of the way. You got fucking
boring
potatoes.
Ones.
You got potatoes, fucking soybeans,
ice packs,
freezer packs,
oh,
roll tide,
Alabama,
swim trunks. Yeah, it's gonna be exciting to see with old West Virginians. There's got to be some kind of statistical data.
Well, one of them is probably going to be the California Bigfoot memorabilia.
All right, here we go. Sorry, that's on me. I can't give a response to that right now. What else can I help you with? You were about to give me a response, you asshole. The state that watches the most porn.
Interesting.
I'll have to save that one for another day. I'll have to figure out how to ask it without it thinking too hard about all those other questions. Patrick, you got anything else you wanted to add, broski?
I think we topped her off today. Shout out to not Joey Chestnut. Some dude ate 58 wieners, and Joey Chestnut had the galls to say that it's an asterisk on your trophy, because if I was there, I would have ate 80.
You know what, though, Joey? The fact of the matter is, you're not there. You chose the money.
Vegan
good for you. Good for you. But if you're going to choose the money, I wish you would also choose to shut the fuck up.
Yeah.
Because you taking that money took you out of the conversation. The only reason we're even talking about you right now is because you opened your empty hot dog ass mouth. So why don't you go shove that impossible meat up your ass? Keep these comments to yourself. Makes no fucking sense. Why would you sully that shit? You made a personal decision. You chose the money. You personally chose. You knew what would happen in doing that, yet you still want to come out and make some asinine comment? Guess what? In my opinion, the crowd at that Nathan's hot dog event was larger than it had ever been. It was more exciting this time. I enjoyed it.
Yeah,
and I did not one time think to myself, this would have been a better show with Joey fucking Chestnut in it.
Yeah.
Because let's be honest.
That guy that ate him, he gave it all. Like, he gave it all.
Let's be honest. It's very entertaining. But you're shoving fucking hot dogs in your mouth, bro. Like, you took the money from this sponsorship because you knew you were approaching the end of your career.
Yeah.
You did this because you were scared.
Yeah, it's a financial decision.
For you to come out and say, I would have eaten 80, you're too scared to be doing those types of competitions anymore. So you're taking the money and you're going to be cush. And you're going to be in a situation somewhere else. I'm sorry, bro, but I don't live in an area where Joey Chestnut comes up any other time other than Nathan fucking eating a hot dog contest.
Yep, absolutely.
Not one time. Not one time. I don't live in your city. I don't live in your town. How dare you sully these other people? I loved old boy. It was like, hey, man, I've been retired. But I figured, hey, now's as good a chance as any.
I'm putting my money on Kobayashi and the Netflix special, Whoop Your Ass.
Oh, Netflix is doing something, isn't he?
Yeah, he's getting paid more. I hope Kobayashi whoops his ass. Kobayashi was fun to watch, too.
Yeah. I'm not gonna watch it. I'll catch the highlights.
I'll bet the money. The highlights of the 8 minutes hot dog eating competition. Yeah.
It'll be on one of my sports news things that I'm watching, and that's all the attention I'm gonna give that son of a bitch.
That's all it needs.
Yeah.
Hopefully he loses.
It's too bad. I can't believe it. It's a dog eat dog world out there. That's pretty crazy. For all of our listeners out there, all of our subscribers, our comments, our shares, we appreciate you. We hope you had a safe 4th of July. The weather's been a little ridiculous, so we hope you're spending your summer on the cautious side. Been hearing way too many sad stories. The 10-year-old boy lost his life on a hike in 115-degree weather. It's befuddling to me. Prayers to those families out there. But just keep being you. Go out there, smile more. The world's a much better place with you in it. We're always here for you here at the show. We love you more.